All right, we're getting situated. Check us out. Black history every single day, right? Every single day. What's happening, good people? I got tired of the people talking about me driving while I'm living. So, while I'm living, right? So I figured I'll park first today. How y'all doing today? All right, as usual, let me know, where you're watching from, city and state, country, if necessary. Kind of check you out. We like to give feedback in the comments. What's happening, Frank? Who's in the building? Let me know if you're here. All right, and can you hear me? All right, Adrian in the building. What's happening, good people? All right, do me a favor, like and share this to make sure that we can spread the message on this Halloween. So today we're going to talk about being black in America, the real Halloween horror story. But there's good news. I'm not going to be all bad news on you. I'm not a Debbie Downer. I don't know. I guess that's the saying, right? So, but we definitely need to beat home some points as we get going here. So I appreciate y'all coming in. Like I said, like and share this to kind of get the word out. And make sure you let us know who's in the building, with a drop a comment below. And yes, you hear that. All right, appreciate that. And where you're from, where you're watching from, city, state, location, all that good stuff. We're much appreciated. If you have any comments, drop them below. And after the live, I'll get to the feed. So we appreciate it. So one, I want to point to our new frame, Black History Every Single Day. This is a movement that we're starting. Urban Intellectuals, Black History Month is coming around, but we don't want to just celebrate the month. We want to celebrate us and our ancestors every single day. So you're going to see this slogan, this movement everywhere. For those of you that don't know, I'm Freddie. I'm the CEO and founder of Urban Intellectuals. The hat's backwards, probably on your screen, but it's all good. I'm involved in a live challenge that's got me moving from behind the desk to in front of the camera to try to get me involved with the conversations in the community and building Urban Intellectuals a little bit further. But today is Halloween. I don't know how many of you celebrate Halloween. It's not a very big holiday in my house. My kids are grown. They're older anyway. But some people do it, eat your candy. I'm not going to judge you either way. So I appreciate y'all storming in. Like I said, like and share this, make sure we spread the message around. But today we're going to talk about being black in America, the real Halloween horror story. But wait, stick around for the good news, I promise. So, people are dressing up as scary goblins and all of that today. But, if you really wanted to scare the bejesus out of people, you should just dress up as Black history. Black history in America and around the world is really the true horror story of this planet. The things that we have endured as a people it's unbelievable. It's inspiring when you think back, though, and think that where we've been and where we're going. So it's inspiring. I want to keep that tone about it. But the reality is, man, it's scary as hell. I can't imagine surviving the things that our ancestors have survived. Just to point out a few, we are stolen people. Now whether you believe we were here in the Americas, which I do, or we came from Africa, which I believe some of that is true as well, but we were a global people long before Christopher Columbus figured out how to sail a damn boat. Who do you think they probably learned the sailing from in the first place? Black people have been sailing this planet for millennia before Christopher Columbus stumbled on America, okay? He was lost at sea, and who do you think helped him in the first place? Nevertheless, I don't want to get too far off my diatribe, but I will jump real quick. So earlier this year, actually, I was in southern Spain. I went to Granada before we went to Morocco, and I hung out at the Alhambra, which was the last Moorish stronghold in Spain, and that is actually where they were defeated at the Alhambra. And that is the place that Christopher Columbus was christened by Ferdinand and Isabella. This is all you hear about the history. They don't tell you about the 800 years before that during Moorish rule of Spain and Southern Europe. They don't talk about that. They just call that the Dark Ages. There was nothing for y'all. Pay no attention to these 800 years, people. They're not important. But that's how they got their civilization in the first place. They were civilized by the Moorish Empire. But that's a fascinating place, the Alhambra. If you ever have a chance to go to Spain, I suggest southern Spain and check out Granada. But anyway, okay, Christopher Columbus comes, steals a bunch of people in the Americas, You know, like I say, we're stolen people who lost our land, our history, our culture, which is, talk about scary, being disconnected from your past, disconnected from your greatness, disconnected from your history. They endured hundreds of years of slavery, backbreaking work, demoralizing. You know, they lost their dignity, their pride as people. They didn't have an opportunity to be proud of their families, of their ancestors. They were cut off from any and everything. Talk about scary, right? On Halloween, people are dressing up as goons and goblins. No, no, no. Just dress up as Black history here in America. That is scary as hell, people. But what I like to say about the slavery period is, you know, slavery, I forget the brother's name that said this, so I can't take this as credit for me, but slavery isn't Black history. Slavery is interrupted Black history. And that's something that I think that's a mantra that we need to repeat over and over and over again, because that period doesn't define us. That's just a section of our, of what happened to us. It just happened to us, right? And it was a process of that occurring. But, you know, being Black history in America is scary as hell on this Halloween, like we talked about. Can you imagine, you know, being separated from your family, you know, the dumbing down of these people, the so-called slaves. I always use the term so-called slaves because that's not who we're stolen. That's not who was stolen from the Americas, North, South, and Central America. That's not who was stolen in the islands. That's not who was stolen from Western Africa. These were people. These were families. These were parents. These were grandparents. These were aunties and uncles. These were scientists. These were chemists. These were farmers. These were agriculturalists. These were astrologists. These were people with skills and trades. This is why America wanted these people, not because they just could endure backbreaking work, but because they knew things. And just because the Europeans were more evil and vile and violent, that's how they end up controlling a people, not slaves. Let's stop using that term. They were not slaves. They were prisoners of war, if they were anything. And we are today still living in a country that don't give a damn about us. So I just think that it's time that we start giving a damn about ourselves. But I want to keep running through the atrocities of Black history and the scariness, right? Because you're dressing up as goons and goblins today, right? You just dress up as Black history. Put on a shirt that say, I am American Black history. That is scary as hell. You know, after the so-called slave period, 1865, then you got to endure Jim Crow, the Black codes. You got segregation, separate but equal. You got the KKK riots and lynching. Every time we build up a economic engine in a society and we come together and start working, they burn it down. Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street of North Carolina. It happened in Florida. It happened in Atlanta. They just did it over and over and over again. If you want to be scary, this Black history, this Halloween, dress up as Black history in America. Oh, it's not over. The economic lynchings, the legal lynchings, the political lynchings continue dating back hundreds of years in this country since its inception. In fact, because the so-called slavery period was legal. It's not like this was an illegal time period. This was legal. So like when they're talking about voting today and voting in these times and things, it's all very important, because when you get these crazy people, I call them what they are. You know, I don't honor anybody that think that you can own someone. This is not somebody to be looked up to. This is a deviant. This is a disaster of a human being, if you can call them a human being. So the founding fathers, they all had slaves. Like, why would you think that I'm going to honor that? Or how do you think I'm going to honor that, right? Absolutely ridiculous. Before I get back, you know, to my list, because there's more. This country has done everything. For those of you that are just coming in, I'm Freddie. I'm the CEO and founder of Urban Intellectuals. We are celebrating Black history every single day. So kind of get used to that slogan. Let's get it in your minds, get it into your mantras, get it into the youth, get it into the ether, people. This is we are going to be proud of our ancestors. And because that pride is going to lead to our greatness. That is why everyone else practices honoring their ancestors. Everyone else learns about their history, their past, and they honor the contributions of their people. This is why you go to schools in the Western educational system and they're constantly teaching you about their ancestors, not yours. They want you to think and understand that they are great. I'm going to say that again. They want you to understand that they are great. They want you to forget your greatness. Every single day, we gonna honor and love our ancestors. That's the movement that we got going on. So when you see that frame, know what it is, right? All right, let's keep going. Now, the New Deal comes around, right? You know, we were excluded from the New Deal, America's greatest period of economic activity and involvement and growth and what they're doing for the so-called bottom and middle class. We were excluded from it, right? Okay, can't participate in that. Redlining. Our veterans go off to war and fight for a country that don't give a damn about them, only to come home to be redlined out of the money. You can't participate in the programs. You don't get no respect. They rioting, they lynching in our communities. And all we doing is marching around, boycotting and being peaceful, saying, hey, I don't think you should just be dumping on us like that. You know what? This is kind of bogus. You got all this opportunity given to everybody else. We should get some of that. Aren't we American citizens? No, what we get is the Billy Club. We get the police sicked on us. We get psychological warfare put on us. We get bashed by the educational system that told us that we ain't nothing but pimps and thugs and problems to the community. And that's reinforced by the police beating us upside the head. You know, that didn't start when the camera started rolling. This camera started rolling to just show you what has been going on for hundreds of years. If you date back, in fact, if you go back to the beginning of the police force, you know, the slave patrols, that's where that little badge comes from, when the so-called slaves would escape. And who the hell wouldn't try to escape, right? Like, if you hold a white person in line too long, customer service, they start yelling, bitching, and moaning. They want to call the police on you. So how the hell they gonna judge you for trying to escape through a slavery period of injustice where you're robbing somebody of their freedom, their dignity, their family, and everything? So they try to escape. They form slave patrols to go hunt you down and use the badge. Then they put the legal law behind it to put in a blue uniform and call them police. And that seems like that same mentality that was birthed during the slave patrol is happening today. We're watching it on camera. Like on camera, they're beating us and killing us. And they're somehow justifying this as, you know, well, they were feeling threatened. But then when you factor in the hundreds of years of psychological warfare that they've been putting on the minds of us and our people, when they see that black skin, they see a threat. They see violence. They see trouble. And this is what justifies them in court, because the jurors and the judge is sitting there saying, yeah, well, you know, I know he was a teenager, but he is kind of big, you know, and he looks kind of scary to me. Like, really? And they're justifying these things. But, you know, I'm not done. Let me continue, you know. They closed our banks, the economic warfare. I talked about The Color of Money, the book, a couple of days ago. Check that out. The Color of Law, how they, you know, gerrymandering is one thing, but it didn't begin here. It began hundreds of years ago. They've been doing this from the political system to the judicial system, the economic system. Every system in this country has been seeking to systematically destroy us piece by piece and to keep us at the bottom rung. Claude Anderson says we're the only planned minority in this country. And this is the truth. Like the truth. The further you dig, the more reality that you find out. But we're not done. Then when someone props up to start speaking about unity and, you know, connecting globally and getting with our people, they kill them. They kill them either physically or psychologically. They kill them. They assassinate their character. They lie. They cheat. They steal in order to just wipe out the mentality that says, hey, we need to come together. So if you want to be scary this Halloween, dress your children up, dress yourself up as Black history in America. Oh, but we're not done. Integration. You know, integration really kind of destroyed us. I can't really be mad at the people because hindsight is 20/20, right? But what happened was our best and our brightest were seeking, you know, something different after being segmented for all of these years, after being deprived and underutilized. They were trying to find some way to make sure that the next generation could have a chance. So they left. The Black community, best and brightest, got up and walked away, only to be ostracized there, demonized there, and the same old tricks and the same old games, but at the failing of our inner communities. You know, our business owners left, our businesses broke down. They ran freeways through our business districts around the country. Follow the history of the freeway system and find out where they were running them through our community. It wasn't just through neighborhoods, because, you know, through eminent, I used to own a real estate appraisal company, right? So through eminent domain, the government can seize your property if it's seen in the best interest of the people. So they were seizing business districts. They weren't just taking like random houses out in the outskirts of town. They were running them directly through our business districts. There's a stretch on 94 here in Chicago that rides around the Pilsen area. The highway goes, and then it like takes this violent turn before it gets into the mix of downtown. You start to find out that violent turn was meant to go around the Pilsen district, go around the Pilsen's business district, so leave their businesses in their community, their institutions intact, and then they ran it through ours. I mean, that type of history is just, it's just riddled all throughout American history. So if you want to be scary this Halloween, dress up as Black History in America, because I'm not done. Then the CIA gets involved. You know, now they're dropping drugs off in the community. They're flying them into the borders. They're telling you that the borders need to be secured. But the CIA is taking planes, bringing dope into our community, going amongst people who ain't got nothing, ain't never had nothing, and then dropping off, you know, tens of thousands of dollars in their lap, and then saying, well, you know, they didn't have to take it. You know, not knowing basic sociology that the people who are starving, who are deprived, and who are poor would do anything to survive. So if all you got to do is sell a little dope, then they were doing it. Okay, maybe they shouldn't have, whatever, but go drop that dope off into a poor white community and you see what happens. They're going to sell the dope. Where do you think violence is occurring in white communities, in these poor white areas? Because it's sociology. It has nothing to do with race or ideology. It's basic sociology. I took one course of sociology and I know that. These people know these things, good people. They're just lying to you. So again, I'm Freddie, the CEO of Urban Intellectuals. Supposed to mention, you know, get on our mailing list and all that good stuff. urbanintellectuals.com/family, urbanintellectuals.com/family, as we look to celebrate Black history every single day. We're going to be proud of our ancestors, and we're going to make sure of it. But let's get back to the story. Now, drugs flowing into our community. I'm telling you, there is nothing more scary on Halloween than Black history in America. Sentencing laws. You know, you have an ounce of cocaine or an ounce of crack. They both made of the same thing. One got baking powder in it, so I'm told, right? Why did one person go to jail, you know, for like 18 times longer than the person with the same amount of cocaine? One's powdered, one's cracked up, because they were putting crack in our communities and then changing the laws, manipulating the laws. Remember I said, read that book, The Color of Law. They have every rung on the system of America has been set up to try to make us fail. You know, the lawyers are behind it, the prosecutors are behind it. They're all like on the same team. The jury's behind it, the district attorney, the prosecuting attorneys. Man, it's absolutely bananas. Then Clinton put on us the 3-strike rule, you know, the war on drugs. Before that, you know, the breaking up of families, basic neo-colonialism throughout every sector of our enterprises. I got to the police beatings and on and on and on and on. We could just go on and on. That's what's really the shame. And then, you know, to top it all off, they ask us, well, why are you so upset? Why aren't you happy? Like, how the hell could you be happy after living this horror story? On Halloween, y'all dressing up and playing games. We're living in a horror story. But there's good news. There's good news, people. So I'm an optimist, right? I think Benjamin Franklin said this, so I'm going to try to give him his credit if this is true. But I'm an optimist. I don't really see any point in being anything else. So despite the fact that I highlighted all the negativeness, I highlighted all the horrors in the Black community, I'm still very, very optimistic. And there's some good reasons why. One, highlighting the negatives and the disaster, because some of you people will say, oh, you know, leave the past in the past. And, you know, it happened already. It's over. See, you know, we're not falling for that okie doke. There go another game that the trolls are playing, trying to get you to dismiss history. These are facts. These are facts. Any people that don't want to deal with facts and the truth just is somebody that you shouldn't even be discussing anything with. And if you don't understand the importance of history, you will. I spent a lot of time wasting my time trying to reason with unreasonable people. That's something I no longer do. As the song go, I ain't going back and forth with y'all, right? I'm not going back and forth with y'all. You know, we know the truth, and we're gonna expound the truth. We're gonna make sure that the next generation knows the history, is aware of it, so that it can't be repeated. We're gonna stop. And you see the great things that we have done as a people globally around the world, the contributions that we've made to society. They know what our greatness is. They know what they're trying to hold back. They know what they're trying to stop, but it's too little too late. And what I like to remind people is we didn't get into this situation overnight. See, we've fallen into short-term thinking. We've fallen into me mentality. And realize. It paused? Okay, I think we're back. We got to try to recognize and realize that. Okay, we're back. All right. Somebody's telling me that we were pausing. All right, we got to try to recognize and realize that. I forgot where I was going. Okay, 1492, our greatness. Oh, that we didn't get into this situation overnight. See, we didn't become in this situation in our lifetime, in our generation. It took actually thousands of years. If you really go back into history and figure out when the European was first discovered on the planet. Okay, I'll leave that up to your interpretation. You go do your reading. But when they first started to try to infiltrate Africa and engage us, it's happened thousands of years ago. And were they on some sideways stuff? Yes, they were. Does that mean all of them are bad today? No, it doesn't. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying keep your eye open for this type of mentality and idea that's only concerned with conquering, ruling, destroying, and not really integrating and building up the people as a society and as a whole. That mentality was here thousands of years ago, and they systematically worked to do that over the time period, over the millennia, right? So we didn't get into this situation overnight. We're not going to get out of this situation overnight. But I think that that's the bright spot. I think that many of us are starting to realize this, and many of us are starting to realize that in your lifetime, it's your responsibility to lay a brick in the foundation. It's not your responsibility to solve all the issues. It's your responsibility to put a brick in the foundation. Let's not waste another generation. We have to do our part. The fact of the matter is, it might take us another 100 years or 200 years to get out of this situation, to fully integrate the global black community and work together through economics, politics, and getting countries behind us and moving there and working with each other, international trade, building our own type of things globally, North, South, Central America, Africa, Asia, Indonesia. We're all over the globe. We're everywhere. But now it's time to bring all those tentacles to start working back together again. So it might take another few hundred years. But if it did, would it be worth it? That's like the question I got for you. Would it be worth it? Of course it would. Because your bloodline is going to continue. You're going to have grandchildren. You're going to have grandchildren. You're going to have grandchildren. You're going to have grandchildren who are going to have grandchildren, right? So why wouldn't you lay a brick in the foundation for their future? No logical person would say, no, I'm not. I'm just going to be selfishly obsessed with my reality and right now, right? No. Like, let's do our part and make sure that we're putting a brick in the foundation. And the brick that Urban Intellectuals wants to put is making sure that we honor and love our ancestors for the work that they've done, and then getting a platform together for the people that are ready, willing, and able to work together to continue not only building one brick, but we can build thousands of them at a time. So that's kind of my dig for the day on this Black Halloween or Halloween day. If you really want to scare the bejesus out of people, dress up as Black history. But in spite of that, we're going to American Black history particularly, but around the globe. Now, I'm going to veer off one more time. So during my trips to Africa, which I've only been twice, and I plan on going again next year, hopefully twice next year. But when you get over there and you get to talking to them people, and, I really particularly had these discussions in Ghana, you start to figure out that the mind games that were played on us were also played on them. Like a lot of basically they ran the same game over there on them that they ran on us here. And they're both telling both of us that neither one of us give a damn about the other one. So until you go there and connect and realize that, damn, they were miseducating y'all too. Damn, like, they still control your educational, like, you start to put it together like, man, clearly they were working globally together to hold you apart for a reason. Again, that's the good news. The good news is the greatness that lies within us. And I think that that's what they were trying to hold back. But now, you know, thanks to the internet and a lot of people are waking up and traveling to the continent and around the globe, I think we're starting to get back together again. So I'm really excited about that. So this Halloween, if you want to scare the bejesus out of people, dress up as Black History. But every day, if you want to celebrate Black History with us, that's what we're going to do. Black History every single day. We're going to love, honor, and respect our ancestors. I'm closing out, but I'm Freddie, the CEO and founder of Urban Intellectuals. I'm getting from behind the desk and in front of the camera, at least for a little bit, to try to spark this movement of Black History every single day. Please get with us, urbanintellectuals.com/family, urbanintellectuals.com/family. Join our mailing list and make sure that you're getting our information and our posts and our celebration of us and our history and the knowledge that we're pushing out and the special deals that we share with our people that's on our list. You can download our mobile app, Urban Intellectuals, on the Play Store. I found out that I didn't renew the iOS membership. So on Apple, we'll actually be back up on Apple tomorrow. So we have an Apple and Android app. You will love it. And we're working to make it even more doper and doper. So peace, good people. Go scare the hell out of them. Talk about Black History every single day.